Yeah.
So these fellas can't pick it up so they can carry on. She was out at at a out at Auntie Dee's son-in-law, the Samoan fella.
Oh, yeah,
passed away, Siatinga. And she was out there, and Dane Hollis was on the pipeline. And he's come just once to one of our wana. And then she texts me while I'm at work. Is Dane in the room? And I said, yeah. Oh, did he get a jacket? And I said, no. And she goes, why not? And I said, because he only came to one wana. Okay. Well, he's doing a good job out here, and I'm really impressed with him. I said, I'm impressed with him too. He's like our son. I'll give him my jacket tomorrow, but he hasn't been in the wana. So she goes, I want to give him my jacket. Is it all right if I give him my jacket? And I said, Kea koe tēnā, but just you remember, you were the one that said there's restrictions on this.
So we're going to turn off the music and then we'll hand it over to you. And then me and my nephew will be doing the waiatas, so we'll be up here. So we'll do and then we'll carry on with the mahi. Yeah. So just letting you know we'll
That's all good. Yeah.
So we selected people who will come and sit on our pile, like you. There's one for Derek. I think those are the only two others, because we know you fellows will come here and sit on here. And then Dane didn't get a jacket. She took my advice.
My clothes out on this. Ka tiki aura tātou roto I tō tātou whare e tau nei tātou I tēnei rā. Hei nā mana, hei nā ihi, hei nā reo. Nā mātā waka I haere mai nei koutou I nei te reo karanga o Shannon e takuto ake nei. Nau mai, haere mai. Haere mai me nā tini āhuatanga ki aia e tira hāke nei. I runga I te tāmira o te hunga kāriro ki te pō. Haere mai me nā mate kairu koutou. E ki ake ai te kōrero. He kura pai maunga tūtonu. He kura pai tangata mate ngarongoa. No reira waihuana rātau kia mo I te moe te au, I te moe te whakarahia. Ko rātau e nei ka takoto tahi nei. Ki nā reke, o tō tātou karanga maha e tiraha nei tēnei rā. No reira haere mai koutou. Haere mai koutou I takahia mai nai koutou nā huarahi maha kia tae mai ki tō tātou karanga maha kua riro nei te ringa kaha o Waitua. Kua eke nei tātou ki te haora e tīmatai ngā karakia whakamutuna mōna ki runga I te matau te whenua. E tīmatai tana hīkoi ki roto I nā ringa o tō tātou matanui I te rangi. No reira e tūnoa ki ana tēnei I runga I nā taumata kōrero. A tēnei o tātou marae ngā tio neone mihi atu nei kia koutou kua tae mai tēnā koutou. Tēnā koutou I te ātāhua o tō tātou rā. E tohu ake nei I te wairua, I te ngākau, I te whatumanawa o te wahine e tiraha nei. I te ai o tēnei rā, I te ai o e tau nei roto I tō tātou whare, hei tohu ake I te mana o te wahine e tiraha ake nei a Shannon. Ko koutou e mātau ana ki aia, I tae mai ai koutou I tēnei rā. Ko koutou e mātau ana ki nā here whakapapa, tō mai ai a koutou kia tae mai koutou ki aia. Aotirā ko koutou e mātau ana ki te here whanaungatanga kai waenga i a koutou. Ki aia ki tāna huaranga tira o tira ki a rāua tamariki mokopuna i tēnei rā. No reira koe nei e nei mihi, e nei whakatau ake ki a koutou ki a tātou, i rungai nā tohu a tō tātou pae o tira i rungai nā whakarite a te whānau i tēnei rā. No reira, kā re tōrua nā mihi, hoi anō he whakatau no ake i a koutou ki a tātou roto i tō tātou whare, hei nā pākeke, hei o tātou kaumātua, ko koutou rā wēnei e noho nei, hei whakawhirina ki ta ngāke mā tātou i tēnei rā, o tira mā te kaupapa e whakawhaiti nei tātou. No reira, tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou katoa. Kua haere tonu ki roto i te karakia timatai nā mahi. Tēnei i rungai nā tono Shannon, tātou katoa e mōhio ana ki aia. She was a well-organised lady that this tangi arrangement was well-organised like 5 years ago. And that it was written in a will for all of us to know our jobs, our roles and our responsibilities. And today it's my honour to lead us in karakia this morning. No reira kia inoi tātou. He hono rea kororia, he maungaro no ki runga i te whenua, he whakaro pai ki nā tāngata katoa. Āmene. E te matua, e te tama, e te wairua tapu, e whakamoemiti atua na rā mātou ki a koe mō e tō mātou atua. I ho mai nei nā manaakitanga nui o te rangi o te whenua i tau mai ai ki runga i a mātou katoa mea mātou tamariki mokopuna pākeke kau mātua e tau nei. Ki tā aupononga e tō mātou kai whakaora, kua o te ake nei e tō mātou atua. Nā mahi nā whakaritetanga mōna ki runga i te mata o te whenua, e timatai tana hīkoi e tō mātou atua, tōna tinana kiko e tō mātou kai whakaora, ki te umao papatuanu kui tēnei ata. Ai rā e te atua ko tōna wairua tēnei kua tai atu kai roto i au ringaringa i tēnei rā e tō mātou atua, kai nui rā ki a koe ki a tau kua ai manaakitana ki runga ki tēnei hui ngā tāngata e tō mātou atua. I runga i te āhuatanga e tō mātou kai whakaura, ko koe tēnei noho mai nā e pupuri mai nā i te manaakitanga mō mātou. A whinatia ki nā o mātou tinana me o mātou wairua, ai ki a ta moho ai mātou ko koe ai hoa, kororia ki tue ingoa tapu. Āmene. I te tīmatanga, i te kupu ko te atua, anō tawa kupu i te tīmatanga. Nāna nā mea katoa i hanga kaore mea kore te hanga o nā mea i hanga e ia. Iaia ko te ora, te māramatanga mo nā tāngata i ruto i te pōuri, te māramatanga e whitiana he oe ki hai mau te pōuri. Kororia ki tue ingoa tapu. Āmene. Tō tātou waiata tuatahi. Raki Hawaii te kai ngā tuturu Hawaii ki nui Hawaii roa Hawaii ki pamama Wairua, mai rā koutou, o mai te wai, o rā kia hau, wai hoke, ki muri nei, nā sitaka, hei tawira, hei o haki, Matenga, hai tawira. e tono atu ana kia Maria, kia hara mai te pānui a te Kraipituri.
Hoi ana, aho poto ai. Hoi ana rā, e te whare tēnā tātou katoa i tēnei ata. Tēnā koe hika nau wāhi ngā kōrero mō tō tātou taonga e tira hamaira i roto i tōna kiri rākau. Nō ki te honore, te tūkimu i a koutou, te tuku i ētahi kōrero mai i te paipera i ngā kaunui ai kia Shannon. Ia e ora ana, i wainganui tōna mate, i ata, ka tūkana atu e au tētahi mea mai i te paipere ki ana, ko te word for today. No tōku māma tērā āhuatanga, he pononga eia no te atua. I te whakapakari tunu māo ko Shannon i tērā āhuatanga i wainganui i a māua. Hoi anora, ka tuku atu au i te kōrero, ka whakahoki kōrero mai a Shan, me ona nei whakaro e pāna ki au a kupu o Tauara. I ētahi wā, he hātekehi, i ētahi wā, he kōrero rerekē. Engari i te nungo o te wā, ka miharo eia ki te hāngai o au a kōrero, ki tāna nei mahi i Tauara tonu. Ko mātou toko tori tērā, iri, Shan, me au anō hoki. Hanei tētahi o aua kōrero ngā kaunui ana ki eia. E hāngai ana kia tātou katoa, nā reira me whakarongo mai tātou katoa. Keep a positive attitude. A heart at peace gives life to the body. Proverbs. Most of what we see and hear on the news is negative. While you can't bury your head in the sand, you must protect your mind against the gravitational pull of negative influences around you. This calls for constantly doing two things. E hoa ma. First, arresting the wrong thoughts. Casting down arguments and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of the higher being. Bringing everything, every thought into captivity to the obedience of the Christ. Take your wrong thoughts captive. Otherwise, they will take you captive. Number 2. Activating the right thoughts. Whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. And the God of peace will be with you. From Philippians. I was sounding that out. A bit like my mate over here. Amen. That's our first reading for today. The second one is one of our favorites for all of us here today, especially for her children and her darling and her mokapunas. For everything, there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up what is planted. A time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, like my faint, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to throw away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. There is a time to love and a time to hate, and a time for war and a time for peace. And this is Shannon's time. Nā reira e hikama kia tau te io te mauri ki rungi a koutou, o tira ki rungi a tātou katoa. Tēnā tātou. It's my pleasure to introduce Wayne James Ngata to you.
High-tech stuff. Kia ora tātou. Shan, I brought my phone up because according to the run sheet, we're way behind. You people are not following the run sheet. Hoe no kia ora tātou, tēnā tātou, I tō tātou whare, tēnā tātou I a Shan. Hoki au I te kāingi nā pō. Kano kia pō, hoe no, tātou ki uawa. Kano kia tō te rā, ko whiti mai te marama. Tō te rā, I turu, ko whiti mai te marama ki runga o motueka I uawara. Ka pēneo, he tohu tērā. He atu tikanga. Nā, āhua whai whakalo. Te tikanga wēnā momo tohu, ki o tātou mātua tīpunaka, tiki natu ko ngā kōrera mea, uputa he kōrero, he tohu tohu. Kare aku tohu tohu, engari. Ko te whakalo, hakoa tō te rā ki rungi a Shannon, nā ko whiti mai he maramatanga. Ki roto anu I tēnā I tēnō tātou. So interesting. Kia ora tātou. Last century, sometime, this Australian chick rocks up and comes to Te Whatukura, to Te Kuratini, and enrolls. I can't remember the actual year. Maria might, Melissa might, I don't know. But it was last century. And there you go. And one of the things, taku whakahau ki ngā tauira, kauru mai ki roto, wai te kura, te whai mātauranga. He mea nui te whai mātauranga. Rake tātou, wai tahe o tātou ki te tangi ki Awi, Riddell, I Waipiro I te rāra. Te kupu a Tangihanga one, tana kuia ki aia, morihu. He taonga tēnei mea te mātauranga. He tīmatanga tōna, kare mutunga. He tīmatanga tōna, kare mutunga. Ki te whai te mātauranga, kai e katotia. Ruku hia, e rā kōrero katoa, ne. So, it's a treasure, education, whatever it might be. And there is a starting point, there is no end. And I whitiau, kia tiki nātu e au, ngā kupu a tērā o koutua, a tui teka. When he used to entertain, and he used to sing a song, and part of it was this. The more I find out, the less I know. Tino whakatau ki tēnā. Ne. Yes, the more I find out, the less I know. You realize the insignificance of what you think you know when you find out more. Shan epitomized those things. Ne? Ka whai te mātauranga, ka whai te reo Māori. Korutia nei e Walden. Ka au, ka hatona whai. And because I used to say to students who enrolled that e huarahi te reo Māori ki te oranga. I made that up. But you make stuff up based on a lot of stuff you make up before and you see it work. Ne? And then you better do some research to back it up. But he huarahi ki te ora. I say, reo Māori will get you a job. That was my standard mantra. And I think it worked for some. Ne? Most, I hope. There's some sitting over there. You got a job, Melissa? That's the one. Yeah. And I would get frequent texts from Shan. And she would ask me, usually asking, how I am, blah, blah, blah. But then she'd ask me for reference. And I've got a record of the references that I've written for people. Most I sort of, I file them. I file them somewhere. And hoki au te tiro tiro. And at her birthday last year, he pono taku kōrero. Shan was a real inspiration to myself. She inspired me because kau ki te huarahi I whaia. Ne. She stuck to what she wanted to do. She was, all those things. She was well organized. She worked out what she wanted to do, and that's what she did. Hea tāhu te wahine. Tinu. She was absolute inspiration. Amazing woman. And you take those things on board and you think, how nā mea ka mahui kia tātou? Ne? Ai, me tangi rā ka tika. Me tangi rā ka tika. But there's a lot of learnings. Ka mihi au ki tana whānau. Ki ana tamariki. Magupuna. Eds. Yeah. All of that stuff. Ne? There's some key messages that you can learn from Shan. So, hako tōtera. Hako tōtera. Ko whiti mai anō te marama. He maramatanga anō tērā. A tai hoa, au i nā ki tata, ko whiti mai anō te rā. All that sort of stuff. It could go on and on. And we used to, I used to call them flat songs back in the 90s. Let's sing some flat songs. Because people thought they were flat. Engari. Now still refer to them as flat songs earlier. Love them. Shan loved them. Nā, ka huake I te ngākau o te Māori, wona katoa. Wona katoa. Ka tīkina atu ko tēnā momo flat song, he kaupapa. Tēnā momo flat song, kaupapa ke. And that's what she inspired in people like myself. And I thought on the way home, Shan, hea te mea, hei whakamihi I a Shannon. A taiho kia tito he waiata mōna. Taiho kia tito he waiata mōna. Ne? Engari kia tīkina atu ko tēnei nā. He whakarākei, iaia, hei tuku anō. Iaia. Angela, am I? Just in case it'll take you a little while to get across here. Ne.
Ka tainei taru kino ko te mea
I ta ngohia hae Mata o tau ana te hinganga Ki rarora ko au e mahara nei hei au anō e he ngā kau ka puka ka whiti he pai ke pai no atu ana kore rawa Ianga mai kia tau mara koe tuki koe kariro tohu I te mea I hawa ki te tai aura he whai ana te mate wa kumahara tonu kai te hu re whati ki te ngutu. Ia wā nei e kora reo ki haira wā i tanga mai e. Ia e ke atu ai au ki te tainga riu no hau nei e te mate. Hangara ura e rure mai i raro e he manu mutunga hau roa noa ki raro rai. I kept to my time.
What's this for?
The world has never been the kindest to my mum, from the beginning right to the very end. She endured a lot of hurt, but if you were to ask Mum to tell you about her life, she was always so happy no matter what life threw at her. She had this way of finding the beauty in all situations and enjoying the moment for what it was. Over the last few days, we've had lots of stories about the person Mum was in her mahi. She was hardworking, dedicated, driven. She was an achiever. Most of all, she was passionate about her culture and all the mahi that she did. Mum accomplished a lot in her 50 years as a student, as a kaiako, as a moderator, as a facilitator, and all the other roles she held throughout her years. To me, her greatest accomplishment or title was being a mum. Our mum and my mum. Our mum to me was, simply put, just a beautiful and kind woman. I can't even say. Her beauty didn't just shine on the outside, but her heart was made of pure gold. Her love and support for me showed no bounds. She's a woman who went above and beyond for everyone, even when people didn't necessarily deserve it. No matter the time or day, my mum always said that is why she's here, to guide me and support me in whatever I needed, and she enjoyed being so in the loop with my life. She was my favourite gossip girl and one of the wisest people I have ever known. You are so precious, Mum. A gift from God. So much grace, love, and patience you possessed. You touched my heart in so many ways, and you've taught me more than you would ever give yourself credit for. You have been the best mum, such a present and involved mum. You've always done your best to look after us right up until today. Even after you left us, we have been well looked after and set up for a happy, positive, and fun-filled life, as you would say. You kept saying to me, you guys don't get it now, but when the time comes, you'll understand and you'll say, thanks, Mum. None of us wanted to face the reality of your illness, and we didn't want to plan any of this because we just didn't want it to be real. But as we begin to conclude a beautiful week celebrating your kindness, your generosity, your love, your dedication to learning, who you are, your life, and just you as a person, I want to thank you, Mum. Thank you for always taking care of us, whether you are earthside or not. I understand now what you were trying to do for us, and I will forever be grateful to have been loved by you and to be protected by you. Most people are fortunate enough to be loved and cared for by their mum. But for me, I have been fortunate enough to not only love my mum so deeply, but over the last few months also I've had the honour and privilege to care for her the way she's always cared for us. And I hope in doing so that she began to understand the depth of my love and gratitude for her. I don't know how any of us are going to get used to not having her around to keep our lives on track, but we will keep our promise to you and always remain close, to always show up for each other and support each other during the hard days to come. I love you, Mum, and I'll never stop missing you.
This is flashy. To my beautiful mum, you are beautiful. You are kind. You are wise. You are warm. You are happy. And everything more. You are someone's light. In their dark places. Anyone who has come into your path has gained happiness or growth. You know I don't say much, even when things are good. But when things aren't that great, I say nothing at all. But somehow you know there's something up. Even from 5,000 k's away, I could be in the middle of nowhere and we get a message from you saying, "Hey, Sano, I woke up this morning and felt something was wrong. Is everything okay, bub?" That's one of the many things I'm going to miss. You're so intuitive with me, Mum. And everyone knew our bond was different. You have been my mother and my father. And I'm thankful I had you. You have made me the man I am today. When I left young, and I know you carried on about it, but you always spoke about your country the red dirt. So I wanted to go over there and explore. It's been 14 years. And I'm sorry I've been gone this long. I wish I could have learned the language with you. But as you always said to us, I didn't want to force it on my kids because they will come back to me one day and want to learn. I'm just a bit too late, Mum. But I will try to fill those big shoes you have left and make sure your mokos from me and Lauren will remember who you are. I've been angry and asking why. Why have you been taken this young? I've been asking over and over again, why my mum? But I have to remember, we are all just visitors in this place. And God has taken you early because, well, you're amazing, Mum. And have more to offer up there. And I know you'll be up there still guiding us and probably still organising us. But anyway, Mum, as we always said, you know what's up. I love you so much, my Mum. I'm going to miss you. You are my first love. And you are my last.
How does this go? Oh, right, okay. Oh, Shannon Arohanui Matenga. I honestly had an amazing speech ready that was going to make everyone laugh and cry. It's really reflective of my beautiful wife, but then something happened this morning and it kind of just sent me off a little bit. I got very unbalanced. And then I thought, because anyone who knows me and Shan knows that nothing happens in my life unless Shannon's pulling the strings. So I was like, what the heck is that about? Because as you've all heard, Shan has planned her tangi meticulously. And then she left the service to us, and that's kind of when it, it was like, oh, okay. But anyway, so this thing happened this morning, and I've been sitting all morning on it, just like, what was it about? And then I realized, as usual, because I said to her this morning, we're nearly there. That was a huge mistake. Because my wife hated the idea of contentment. She did not like to be content. I'm not saying she reveled in discontent, but there was always things to do. There was always, there was just always things to do. So we weren't even nearly there. We weren't even close. So anyway, I realized there was a lesson to be learnt. And all the lessons I've learnt from my wife have not been gentle to me. So, and it was this. No matter how good your intent, without the knowledge, could be really misguiding and result in unintended consequences or mamai. The same can be said the other way. You could have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't have the good intent, you're wasting it. So with Shan, she pursued knowledge relentlessly. Didn't matter if she had an ounce or a lot
There was just more to know, more to learn. And I'm not even just talking about Te Reo Māori, because we've heard a lot about that. Her knowledge went further than that. She wanted to know about you. She wanted to know about your life, your children, your mahi, your background. Some people would call it nosy, but she was relentless in her pursuit of knowledge of all things. It's why she excelled in her area of, with her Te Reo Māori and her moderation and her academic assurance. She genuinely chased knowledge. And then in terms of her intent, and I'm not saying this because she's angelic, because she wasn't, but her intent was pure. Her intent was authentic. Her intent was genuine, and it was just laced with humility. So what Shannon was saying this morning to us was continue to learn from one another, be kind. Understand that if you've been gifted with knowledge, use it kindly. And if you're feeling like you don't have the knowledge, seek it out. There's some amazing people in this room, and we learnt from them this morning, and it was beautiful. It was an amazing experience. Didn't feel it at the time when I kicked the shoes on the way out, but it was okay. And it ended up being a very beautiful experience for us. And it was so Shannon. And I was going to talk about, her amazing, colourful life. She was born in Whakatane, raised in Carrington, Australia. She had wonderful Australian friends who were sending messages of love. And so I thought what I will share is I'll expose something about Shannon that you may not know. Don't freak out, it's not bad. Shannon did not like to share. She didn't like sharing at all. She didn't like sharing her food. She didn't like sharing her clothes, which in a same-sex relationship is supposed to go unsaid. But she didn't like sharing anything. She didn't like sharing her lawnmower, her gazebo, her chairs. She didn't like sharing anything. Her books, nothing. She didn't like sharing. The idea of tātou, I'll just tell you, she used to say tātou whātou. What's mine is mine. What's yours is yours. What's his is his. What's hers is hers. Okay? And I don't know if that was the Australian or what, but I did learn why. Shan didn't like sharing because she wholeheartedly believed in giving. If she had anything that you needed or wanted, she wouldn't share it with you. She'd give it. If you wanted to borrow a book, she'd go and get you the whole series and just plant it in front of you, and she'd keep her book. If you wanted some kai, if you wanted a ride, can you pick me up so I can go do some shopping? She'd do the shopping, come bring you the shopping. If you wanted to borrow a fridge, I came home one day with a box of beers that are probably still warm because the fridge was missing from our shed. So Shannon would give fridges, lawnmowers, cars, beds, oh, so-and-so needs a bed. And she never wanted them back. She didn't want anything back because she hated sharing. She would just give it. And I'm not even talking about just things or materialistic stuff or anything like that. The immaterial was even more so. Her knowledge that I told you about that she pursued so relentlessly, she gave it away freely to anyone. Didn't matter if you had a great status or whatever, or if you were just someone off the street or whatever. She would just willingly share all her knowledge. She would give it away. And it was weird because she worked so hard to get it. And some people get quite precious about what they know. Kapai, that's fine. Not Shan. She'd just give it away to anyone. Her knowledge, her heart. If she loved you once, she loved you always. Just ask her exes that have been turning up and speaking on the pipe. It didn't matter if she loved you a short time, tepu, or a long time. If my wife loved you once, she loved you always. It didn't matter if you were present, if you were absent, if you were kind or unkind, if you reciprocated or not. She didn't care because she didn't share her love with you. She just gave it. And then it was, do with it as you will. So that was Shannon. She was a giver, not a sharer. And so I will say, I would say that Shan gave a lot of these gifts: knowledge, love, time, effort, energy. She gave it unconditionally, without any thought of reciprocation, nothing like that. It was just given. And where she would say to you, you know, take these gifts and do them as you will, I would say the opposite, because I've never been as kind as Shannon. I would say, take the gifts and pass it on. You know, continue to grow the legacy, continue to sow the seeds that she's sowing into your lives. Her love was completely unconditional. I thought I had a great capacity to love. I was brought up in one of the most loving families on this planet. And then I was blessed to have the most loving friends, the most loving workmates. And then I met Shan. And I was like, why do you still love that cat? That cat, you know, why do you still love some of these people? And it just didn't make, she was just like, because I loved them. She was so about it. I will say this, I didn't always feel unconditionally loved by Shan. I felt there were conditions. But I also figured that one out too. The reason why I got held to a different standard than every other person on the bloody planet was because she didn't just give me her heart. She gave me things that she gave no one. She gave me these three beautiful humans. And there were conditions on those ones. So her most precious gifts. The first love of her life. The only real man, sorry, Tepu. The only real man in her life who grew up to be magnificent and growing his own magnificent family. There they are over there. Her mirror, which they often didn't like, because they saw each other in each other often. They had a big scrap not too long ago. And Lauren goes, she never yells at Hemi. She only yells at me. And I was like, well, you're the only person on the planet that yells at your mother. So, you know, they were the mirror image. And then her baby that brought our whole family together, that she loved from an instant. So I did get conditions, but so I should, because she entrusted me with her greatest gifts. And so just to finish off, I just want to say thank you, everyone. My wife wanted to have this at our house. And I said, oh, I don't think we'll fit. She was like, I've only really got 4 friends, so you can figure out who those 4 are. I count a bit more than that. But genuinely, I'm not going to name names because there's just too many. So please, I will get around to you all. You've shown my wife nothing but love, generosity, and respect. Everything she never wanted or asked for, you gave freely over these past few days, over these past 10 months. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Ngā mihi. Eh? Oh. How my family going to sing it? Oh. Yes. Grace cousins, come on. Yeah, come over here. Oh, you don't have to. All right. We need to get there because we can't all fit here.
Really, where's Tinga?
Waiting. I was here last night. You are forever in my life. You see me through the seasons. Cover me with your hand and lead me in your righteousness. And I look to you, and I wait on you. I'll sing to you, Lord, a hymn of love for your faithfulness to me. I'm carried in everlasting love. You'll never let me go. Through it all. You are forever in my life. You see me through the seasons. Cover me with your hand and lead me in your righteousness. And I look to you, and I wait on you. I'll sing to you, Lord, a hymn of love for your faithfulness to me. I'm carried in everlasting love. You'll never let me go. Through it all. Sing to you, Lord, a hymn of love for your faithfulness to me. I'm carried in everlasting love. You'll never let me go. Through it all. Through it all.
Te ahua nei. Te ahua nei kua paenga tā tātou. Haorai hua ma. Tēnei ka whakakapia ki tā tātou wāhanga i tēnei wā. Mea ngā tō tātou ngā kau kia ihua kei reira nei te awhina mō tātou, no ihua te awhina mō tātou. No te kaihanga o te rangi o te whenua e kore e tuku i o tātou waiwai kia ne kei nā e kore te kaitiaki ui haraira e parangi e moe. Ko ihua tō tātou kaitiaki, ko ihua tō tātou kai whakamarumaru ki tōna ringa matau. E kore rā tātou e pākia i te rā i te awa te ara nei te marama i te pō. Mai ihua tātou e tiaki mana tātou e manaaki. Mana anō ki e tohu o tātou wairuene o tātou haere ngātumi o tātou hoki ngā mai. Ai anei ake tonu atu kororia ki tui ngā tapu. Āmene. E te atua whakatuwhiratia mai kia mātou ngā kuaha, o te tika o te ora o te pono, te kaha, te māramatanga kia mātou i tēnei wā, Mā mātou koe māpono na koe whakamoemi te whakakorori ki tu ingoa tapu. Āmene. Kia ora tātou. Nā kai amo i te tūpāpaku. Pallbearers. And whānau to come and collect the flowers as well. Can we have all the little kids pick up the flowers, whānau?
Samson, get you a bunch, mate.
Lauren, you want to pick up the present?
She wants to play that song.
With everyone with all the flowers, if you can make your way to the front of the wharenui. Everyone with flowers, if you can make your way to the front of the wharenui.
The bottom of that big one might come out.